The era of blindly chasing ultralight 4-pound rifles is officially over. Dropping weight makes your survival trek easier, but when you squeeze the trigger on a Magnum cartridge in a featherweight chassis, the violent recoil destroys your sight picture and shatters your accuracy right when you need a tactical advantage. Today, we are breaking down the top 5 most capable and perfectly balanced platforms of 2026, where practical shootability and structural rigidity completely dominate all weight reduction. Hit that subscribe button right now to join the gun range community for the most honest gear reviews on the internet. Let's get into it. Starting off at number 5 is the Christensen Arms Evoke. Let us talk about what happens when aerospace technology finally trickles down to the working man. For years, if you wanted a carbon-wrapped barrel on a survival or home defense platform, you had to shell out custom shop money. Christensen Arms completely disrupted the market this year by offering a sub-minute of angle accuracy guarantee on a rifle that utilizes carbon technology at a price point that will not force you to take out a second mortgage. Out on the range, this rifle sits right around 6.5 to 7 pounds unloaded. That is a sweet spot for a truck gun or a backcountry survival tool. It is light enough to carry all day without burning out your shoulders, but heavy enough to soak up the recoil when you are firing under stress to neutralize a threat. A lot of guys think they need the absolute lightest rifle possible, but when your heart rate is maxed out, having that extra pound of mass helps stabilize your crosshairs for a critical follow-up shot. The real tactical advantage here is the consistency. The carbon wrapping on the barrel dissipates heat rapidly. If you are running multiple rounds through this platform during a training session or a high-stress scenario, the barrel is not going to warp and shift your point of impact like a pencil-thin steel barrel would. You get repeatable precision every single time you press the trigger. The only real downside is that while it incorporates carbon fiber, it still uses a steel receiver and composite materials to keep the cost down, so it is not an absolute featherweight. But for the capability you are getting, that is a trade-off most practical shooters are willing to make. The Christensen Arms Evoke hits the market with a manufacturer-suggested retail price just under $1,000. Moving down to number 4, we have the Savage 110 Ultralight Elite. If you are looking for that perfect hybrid between a precision long-range configuration and a backcountry survival rifle, this is exactly where you want to be. The engineers at Savage took their proven floating bolt head action and dropped it into a custom MD-THNT-26 chassis. This chassis is an absolute masterpiece machined from magnesium alloy and carbon fiber, weighing in at a ridiculously light 26 ounces. When you pull this rifle out at the range, the first thing you notice is the folding buttstock mechanism. In a real-world survival situation, being able to fold your rifle and stow it inside a standard pack gives you a massive tactical advantage. Or you are not broadcasting to the world that you are armed when navigating through tight spaces or dense environments. Out front, you are getting a proof research carbon-wrapped barrel, which keeps the overall weight down to an impressive 5.8 pounds bare. A lot of guys at the range look at a chassis rifle and think it is going to be front-heavy or awkward to balance on a barricade, but the magnesium frame keeps the center of gravity perfectly locked just forward of the magazine. Well, the downside to this platform is purely aesthetic. The exposed metallic lines and AR-style vertical grip are highly modular, and that tactical look is not for everyone, especially if you are a traditionalist. Also, all that exposed metal gets incredibly cold if you are operating in sub-zero environments. But for pure rugged utility and target shooting precision, it is incredibly hard to beat. The Savage 110 Ultralight Elite carries a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $3,299. Let us slide into the number 3 spot with the Seekins Precision Element Hunter. When you are talking about blending hardcore tactical DNA with backcountry survival utility, Seekins is writing the playbook. This platform strips away everything you do not need and reinforces everything you do, resulting in a rifle that weighs between 5.4 and 6.0 pounds. If we are out on the range examining this action, the first thing that jumps out is the hybrid stainless design. But the real game changer here is the toolless bolt disassembly. Imagine you are operating in a highly austere environment. Maybe you drop your rifle in the mud, or it gets completely iced over during a winter storm. With the element, you can strip that bolt down completely with your bare hands, clear the debris, and get the weapon back into action to maintain your tactical advantage. You do not need a workbench or specialized gear to keep this system running. The stock is a carbon fiber and composite mix that is built to take an absolute beating. It does not just look good, it provides a rock-solid foundation that will not warp or shift under extreme temperature swings. The hybrid action gives you the mechanical repeatability of a heavy precision target shooting rifle, but in a lightweight package you can carry for miles without fatiguing. The main drawback here is that achieving this level of ruggedness and precision requires incredibly tight manufacturing tolerances, which pushes the price up significantly. It is built like an absolute tank, but you are going to pay a premium for that peace of mind. It also leans heavily into the tactical aesthetic, which might not appeal to guys looking for a classic profile. The Seekins Precision Element. Hunter commands a manufacturer-suggested retail price starting around $2,795. Stepping into the number 2 spot is the absolute king of weight reduction, the Weatherby Mark V Backcountry Capra. If you are obsessed with counting every single ounce in your gear, this platform is going to blow your mind. Tipping the scales at a mind-bending 4.1 to 4.4 pounds bare, it is widely considered the lightest production centerfire rifle ever manufactured. Out on the range, when you hand this to another shooter, their first reaction is always absolute disbelief. Weatherby achieved this engineering marvel by utilizing an aerospace-grade titanium receiver and pairing it with a thin contour barrel that features a really aggressive double helix spiral fluting. They dropped that entire titanium action into a Peak 44 blacktooth carbon fiber stock that weighs a mere 19 ounces. It is the ultimate tool for navigating extreme elevations to secure a tactical advantage. But let us have a real conversation about the physics. When you chamber a high-powered magnum cartridge in a 4-pound rifle, you are going to pay a severe physical penalty. The recoil on this platform is absolutely punishing. If you do not have masterful recoil management fundamentals, that violent kick will induce a flinch and completely ruin your target shooting precision. It also makes spotting your own impacts nearly impossible because the muzzle jump is so severe. This is a highly specialized instrument for a very specific type of operator who is willing to trade shootability for absolute ease of carry. It is a masterpiece of metallurgy, but it demands absolute discipline from the shooter to safely neutralize the threat. The Weatherby Mark V Backcountry Capra enters the market with a manufacturer-suggested retail price of $3,499. Taking the number 1 spot and standing as the undisputed king of 2026 is the Browning X Bolt 2 platform, encompassing both the traditional hunter and the extreme mountain pro. This system takes the top position because it completely rejects the industry obsession with extreme weight reduction in favor of pure, practical shootability. Out on the range or in a survival situation, a rifle that weighs roughly 6 to 7 pounds is the absolute sweet spot. A 4-pound rifle might be a dream to carry in a pack, but it becomes an absolute nightmare to shoot. The extra mass on the X-Bolt 2 provides the physical inertia necessary to stabilize your reticle in high winds and absorb the violent energy of modern magnum cartridges. When you need to maintain a tactical advantage or defend your home, you want a platform that stays firmly on target so you can execute rapid follow-up shots. The mechanical heart of this system is the DLX trigger. It provides a crisp glass-like break with zero creep, giving you absolute mathematical precision even when you are physically exhausted and your heart rate is spiking. We also have to highlight the Speed SPR variants, which are specifically engineered from the factory to host sound suppressors. By shortening the barrel by exactly 4 inches, you can run a heavy-duty suppressor to mask your acoustic signature without making the weapon wildly front-heavy or difficult to maneuver in tight spaces. The flush-fit rotary magazine ensures flawless straight-line feeding and keeps the balance point perfectly centered right above your hand. The only real trade-off here is that you are carrying a couple of extra pounds compared to the extreme featherweights on the market. But for unmatched reliability under pressure, the Browning X Bolt 2 platform is peerless. It enters the market with a manufacturer-suggested retail price ranging from $1,180 for the base Hunter models up to $3,700 for the aerospace-grade carbon fiber variants. So what is your deployment strategy? Are you willing to suffer the punishing recoil of a 4-pound Ultralite? Or are you running a highly balanced 7-pound system to guarantee your tactical advantage when the pressure is really on? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to support the Gun Range channel, and I will catch you in the next video.